Hi everyone, it's Pat here again with Beads and Plenty More, and today we're going to talk about Kumihimo. And the first part, we've got a Kumihimo disc, and that's what it looks like. They come in round and square. A round disc will give you round chords, and a square one will give a flat chord. Now here's the sample of what I've already made, and I've put one end on, so I'm going to help or show how the other end goes on today. You can also put a bail on it so that you can dangle off some nice little charms or something to make it a little more interesting. So the one thing I was going to talk about, the caps. We have a lot of different caps in the store for finishing the ends of your cord. I use this pretty little kind of bell shape, and then I have a necklace here that has bigger caps on. And generally these are glued in, but you can also do a wrap and bring your wire up through the bead cap and then hook into your clasp. So I also wanted to point out with your caps that you don't have to have a cap that has a loop on the top, like this one that's on the necklace has. This one has a loop on the top. You can take one like this and use a head pin to go through the cap and make your own loop. So therefore you can use any cap at all to go onto the end of your work on your cord. Now these cords of course make a really nice thick cord for something like the pendants that you make. So that's what this is a necklace that's with the black pendant on here. And what I'm going to do now with the disc, I'm going to show you how to set up the cords for a basic one that does a spiral in this nature. We also have this weight that you can buy in the store, or you can always just weight your work down with something like a bag of stones or coins or something. But the weight does help a lot. So the weight gets hooked onto the back side of your cords like this, and quite often when you're cutting your cords, you'll cut them you need 8 spots, so you'd cut only 4 cords of double the size so that you end up with a rounded loop on the end, which is what my piece that I haven't finished here has, is the rounded loop, and then the weight will hook right into that rounded loop very easily. So in order to do the spiral, we've got north, south, east, and west, and so we want to do the north and south with the one style of cord. When I've got the purple and I've got the metallic here. So I've got north and south with the purple and the metallic cord, which is this cord, by the way. It's called knotted, and we have it in silver, gold, and copper. So then we put the second color cord, or in my case metallic, goes in the east and west. And once you set these up like that, you want to kind of take a little check that they're sitting so that they aren't overlapping in the center, which I think we're okay. Get my weight hooked in here. There's a little hook on it, so that makes it very convenient to hook on. So once you put the weight on, then it seems to hold it all nice and steady for you. Okay, so here we go. We've got it crossed there. So before I start, I'll switch those two into the opposites. Oh, no, they crossed over that way, so I'll cross them. There they go. Want them to go smooth. And this side, I've got a crossover as well. Once you put the weight on, you can often see that. There we are, nice and flat. And this side's looking good. Okay, so what I like to do this one keeps switching on me. Okay, here we go. What I like to do is put a little piece of masking tape on my disc so that I can remember what the direction that I intend to do. There's several patterns for Kumihimos, so it's not always that you do the same pattern, but once you start a pattern, you want to make sure you are consistent in your work. So my pattern goes right to right and left to left. So I start at the north, take the right one, go to the right, and at the bottom take the left and go to the left. And then I've also marked clockwise, so we do a turn. Well, that's counterclockwise. Oh well, it can go clockwise or counterclockwise. So take right to right and left to left. Then do a turn. Right to right and left to left. Turn. Right to right and left to left. And as you can see, the cords are moving around the disc. So they're no longer sitting right at the north, south, east, and west. So left to left. And then, because you can't always finish a project in one sitting, a good plan is to end in this way, where you've got the 3 cords going one direction and only one up here. So if you were to go back to your work, you look at it and say, okay, automatically I know left to left, because there's 3 cords here and only one there. Okay, I'm going to put aside the disc now and talk about finishing the ends, because the disc, now that I've got it set up and working, we're going to continue to do the same thing over and over again. So I have finished this end already. What we want to do is wrap with a very fine wire, and I've used a 28 gauge wire here. So here's a piece here, and I'm going to wrap the end before I cut this off so that it's all nice and firm. And when you're wrapping with wire, it's always a good idea to start in a ways and then start to wrap. Wrap very tightly. Give it a good tug. And then I'll use my wire cutters to clip that wire away, the excess. And then we're going to cut this end off with scissors usually. Quite a cut to get through 8 cords. There we are. So now we've got sharp wire. I didn't get it tucked in nicely. There we go. So now we've got this end all ready to go into the cap that I've got here. So I do a 2-stage gluing on this. I would take the glue and glue this end so that it's got all your little bits tucked in together and kind of meshed together, because we definitely don't want this to unravel. That's very important. So we'll do that gluing, and then we go ahead and glue into the cap. And once I've glued into the cap, then I'm going to form the circle, like this end, which this will hook into. So that's how you do a basic Kumihimo. And I highly recommend that you go ahead and make some of these cords to go on your pendants that we made in some of the other videos. Bye for now.